Funding for this program is made possible by NBC Universal.
Nelson Mandela changed the nation without firing a bullet.
We gave the first national television attention to a protest demonstration at the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation.
Kami Suksavoy says water is her family's lifeline.
Never in their lives imagined that there would be a black president. It was big. It was big.
I'm a proud American, but I'm also a part of the LGBT community.
Can I have a hug?
From the campus of Howard University in Washington, D.C., this is NewsVision, a newscast written, reported, and produced by capstone journalists in the Department of Media, Journalism, and Film.
Protests spread like wildfire shortly after the 2016 presidential election. What happens next as the country prepares for its next president?
The School of Communications gets a new name as the university prepares to celebrate 150 years.
And it's been the source of keeping our communities informed. Is black media becoming extinct? We'll take a closer look. Hello, I'm Danielle Ledbetter.
And I'm Cache McClay. Thank you for joining us for the 2016 NewsVision Newscast. We're bringing you the latest news from the campus of the historic Howard University to the stories affecting you in the nation's capital and nationwide.
We begin with the 2016 race for president and the election of Republican billionaire Donald Trump as the nation's 45th commander-in-chief. After his stunning defeat over Democrat Hillary Clinton November 8th, protests broke out across the country. The Trump International Hotel, located in downtown Washington, D.C., was just one of the many locations across the nation where demonstrators took to the streets to protest the results. Many were upset after learning Clinton had won the popular vote while Donald Trump won the electoral vote. In the midst of the face-off were Trump supporters.
We live in a democracy. Everybody should respect whatever the vote is. Everybody has to give Donald Trump a chance.
In Ohio and Oregon, protesters blocked major streets. Public school students also left classes to join in the demonstrations. In Cleveland, at least 2 people were arrested after demonstrators started running and knocking others down in the process.
While protests have died down, calls for a recount have heated up. Green presidential candidate Jill Stein has called for a recount in Wisconsin, with other states likely to follow.
Meantime, President Barack Obama met with President-elect Trump at the White House just days after the election. During a White House briefing, Mr. Obama said he is aiming for a smooth transition of power. He also reminded Americans that the country is better off as he leaves office than when he came.
So these are the kinds of points that I shared with the President-elect. It was a free-flowing and I think useful conversation. I hope it was. I tried to be as honest as I could about the things I think any president coming in needs to think about.
After the briefing, the president departed for his final international trip as president.
It's hard to believe that 8 years has passed since America has elected its first African-American president. NewsVision and other journalists with Howard University News Service covered Election Day 2016. I had a chance to speak with voters to get their sentiments about the end of the Obama administration.
We need your vote. It counts.
As voters fill the polls to vote for the next president, many are filled with emotions as the era of America's first black president, Obama, comes to an end.
It's definitely sad. It was really awesome to vote for President Obama as my first election that I was able to vote. And I think he'll go down in history as probably one of the best presidents our country's ever had. So,
while voters like Victoria Park spent their Tuesday casting their final vote, Jonathan Perk and his wife spent their Tuesday like they have for every Tuesday for the past 2 years outside of the White House, supporting the soon-to-be former president.
We are very sad. We think that he is one of the most magnanimous, kind role models that we could ever have.
His time is up. It's time for him to move on. And I feel kind of saddened about it. But his time is up. And it's time for someone else to replace him.
Of course, that replacement is President-elect Donald J. Trump. While some Americans hope that Obama's legacy might continue with First Lady holding public office in the future, the president made the answer clear, telling Rolling Stone magazine that Michelle Obama will never hold a position in office. Instead, the two will occupy their Washington, D.C. home until their youngest daughter, Sasha, graduates.
Here in the nation's capital, the plight of the homeless has been a chronic issue. Mayor Muriel Bowser is pushing for a controversial bill that would help prevent the misuse of services. Mayor Bowser has also proposed another plan to help the homeless with shelter as the winter season approaches. NewsVision's Brittany Webb has that story.
When you think of Washington, D.C., you will probably think of the Washington Monument, the Capitol Building, the White House, and tourist attractions alike. But one of the hidden truths to the district is its homeless population. Within the last year, the Metropolitan Council of Governments has recorded a 14% increase in the homeless population. Less than 2 miles away from Capitol Hill is one of D.C.'s most notorious homeless shelters, known as D.C. General.
I'm here at D.C. General, which serves as the largest single facility housing homeless persons within the district. In an attempt to divert the population, Mayor Muriel Bowser has proposed a plan that will build shelters within each ward of the district.
According to Mayor Bowser, D.C. General is out of date and is not suited to provide effective programming and services to help families become stable. Ward 1 Advisory Neighborhood Commissioner Brian Footer supports the building of a shelter for families with minor children within his ward.
It is an opportunity to try and take a lot of the issues that have been seen or experienced at General and try and make sure that they're not as big, that we're not doing a giant kind of convention center style everyone kind of in one setting, and making sure that they're in their smaller communities, actually in the community, which there are a lot of different studies and theories out there of why that actually helps.
Located at the corner of 10th and B Street, the building of the Ward 1 shelter has received positive reactions from residents.
I feel like it's about time.
If it's for like women and children that need support and help, I do think it's okay for the community, as long as it's not like a bunch of transients and like men with criminal backgrounds or any kind of like domestic backgrounds. I think it would be fine.
From Washington, D.C., I'm Brittany Webb for NewsVision.
Of course, Howard University is a who's who for influential African Americans. Next, we'll share some of the exciting news here at the Mecca this year.
NewsVision.
Howard
University School of Communications backpack journalists going the extra mile to defend your right to know, bringing you the latest news updates from campus to the local communities.
Our vision! Our vision!
Howard University NewsVision, working hard to give you coverage you trust.
For the past year, NewsVision reporters, along with our counterparts in the News Lab class, have had the unique opportunity to cover stories at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. From a NASCAR driver making a pit stop at the White House with President Obama, to First Lady Michelle Obama hosting top student poets in the country, we were there to cover it all. In September, Mrs. Obama hosted high school poets as part of the National Student Poets Program, which was started under the Obama administration. In October, President Obama welcomed Kyle Busch and his racing team. And recently, the First Lady and Second Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, invited veterans to discuss the successes of joining forces.
I was on hand as the First Lady celebrated her final harvest in the White House kitchen garden with students from her Let's Move programs. The students and some special furry friends then helped her prepare a fresh, healthy meal to take with their bounty. Take a look.
All right, then all right, everyone, let's get to work. Let's harvest the garden. Let's go.
Students from across the country were invited to harvest the White House kitchen garden. The First Lady invited children that currently participate in Let's Move programs. The First Lady was joined by Sesame Street's Elmo and Rosita, Al Roker of The Today Show, Alonzo Mourning, a 7-time NBA All-Star and member of the President's Council on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition, and Grammy Award-winning artist Ashanti, and other notable guests. President Obama surprised the attendees when he stopped by from his busy workday. After all that harvesting, the children came together to prepare a healthy meal. Michelle Obama established the White House kitchen garden in 2009, and she hopes the next First Lady will uphold the harvest tradition.
Howard University is continuing a noble tradition. It's home to yet another Rhodes Scholar. Senior double biology and community health major Cameron Clark was one out of 32 students selected nationwide. In addition to his studies at Howard, Clark has also participated in several research experiences, including studying at Columbia University School of Public Health. Clark plans to attend medical school, but before then, he will have to make a stop at the University of Oxford in England for 2 years to complete the Rhodes Scholarship Program. Meantime, the School of Communications is honored to have notable filmmaker Julie Dash as Time Warner visiting professor. The native New Yorker became the first African-American woman to have a full-length general theatrical release in the U.S. with her film, Daughters of the Dust. O Magazine concluded that film as one of its 50 greatest chick flicks and has also been honored as one of the most important cinematic achievements in black cinema in the 20th century. Here's something you may not know. Dash's groundbreaking film Daughters of the Dust is cited as inspiration for Beyoncé's album Lemonade.
Another woman who has paved the way in the area of media and communications is entrepreneur Miss Kathy Hughes. This past October, the School of Communications was officially renamed in honor of the Radio 1 founder and media mogul who created the popular urban music format, The Quiet Storm, right here at WHUR-FM. Everyone from students, faculty to celebrities gathered in the Blackburn Ballroom in a huge event to honor Miss Hughes.
For the last 5 or so years, and just to be here to witness this, especially at my alma mater, especially at a place where she started her radio career 45 years ago. So it's truly amazing and truly an honor to be a part of all that and to witness this moment in history.
She didn't have a millionaire to give her startup money. She didn't have a daddy handed to her. She built it. A single woman coming to Washington with a son, and look at what she's done.
Prior to the celebratory brunch, Howard University held a private ceremony in the School of Communications lobby where Dean Gracie Lawson Borders and President Dr. Wayne A.I. Frederick unveiled a plaque of her.
The School of Communications continues its legacy of excellence without excuse. This year, it celebrated 45 years with a sold-out soiree held at the museum in Washington, D.C. Howard University's news service reporter Cassidy Sparks has the story.
The Howard University School of Communications is celebrating its 45th anniversary, commemorating its opening in 1971.
Well, the School of Communications was created a couple of years after the release of the Kerner Commission report, which kind of looked at the country, and it was saying that the media was a large part of the problem of unrest in the United States, and that there weren't enough African Americans working in the media to tell our story.
To celebrate this milestone, the school hosted its 45th anniversary soiree at the Newseum on Saturday, September 10th.
The School of Communications has been producing the most African American communications professionals for 45 years.
I think one of the fondest memories I had was with Dr. Laura Fleet, my professor. My senior year class, she focused on ethics and just gave us a lecture for the whole semester off and on about ethics. And that just stuck with me.
This event was hosted by alumna Michelle Miller, a CBS News correspondent, as well as her husband, Mark Morial, the CEO and president of the National Urban League. Some of the honorees include D'Artagnan B. Bell, CNN's Frederica Whitfield, and NBC Universal. The night was a success and a great place for students, alumni, and staff all to connect under the common ground of being a part of the 45-year legacy of the School of Communications. For Howard University News Service, I'm Cassidy Sparks.
As the School of Communications celebrates 45 years, the university is preparing to celebrate 150. Plans for the milestone event are already underway.
Joining us now to discuss that is Dean Danielle Holly Walker of Howard University School of Law. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you coming in. So to start off, for those watching at home that may not know, When will this event be held?
Good. So the sesquicentennial of the university will be celebrated in the year of 2017. So our actual charter day is March 2nd, 2017. So we will have convocation and a big celebration at the National Museum of African American History and Culture on March 2nd. But the sesquicentennial will really be celebrated all of 2017. So we'll have events that will be sponsored by the schools and colleges. We'll have events that are put on by students and alumni organizations around the country to celebrate our 150th anniversary.
Awesome. Sounds like an amazing event.
Yeah.
So tell us, what does this event mean to the university?
I think anytime you have a big milestone like 150th year, it's a time to reflect obviously on the legacy of the university, the mission of the university, and also a chance for us to think about what the future is for the university. So it's an incredibly important moment, and I think one that the entire community, faculty, staff, students, alumni will all really enjoy and be able to take a moment to reflect on the impact and the power of Howard University.
Well, you mentioned alumni briefly, so being that we have alumni that range in ages greatly, how are you going to kind of make it an event that everyone of all ages can enjoy?
So we have a couple of different things. So one, we'll have a new website that everyone will be able to access that's from the Howard University website. That's the 150-year website. On there you will find all of the big events of university history, like Mordecai Wyatt Johnson's presidency, Thurgood Marshall's graduation, all of the major historic milestones. And so regardless of when you graduated, you really will be able to find kind of those big facts and milestones from your time at the university. We're also going to have alumni celebrations throughout the country. So if you live in Atlanta or if you live in Los Angeles or Houston, we will have individual probably one day where we'll have alumni celebrations throughout the country.
Oh, wow.
Very nice. Can you also find information on Facebook and other social
media?
Yes,
absolutely. So we have a fantastic social media campaign around the sesquicentennial, and it's called Journey to 150. So if you've seen the Instagram pictures and Facebook and Twitter campaigns, all that feature alumni, and they talk about their journey from Howard to where they are now, and it gives us an opportunity to really reflect on the journey of the university at the same time that we're talking about the journey of individual students and alumni and faculty and staff. So definitely go on Instagram, go on Facebook and Twitter, and look for the Journey to 150.
When we come back, the state of Black media,
is it dying or thriving? We'll find out after the break.
Do you know what NewsVision is? It's seeing things as they are without fabrication. It's being aware of what's happening in your community. It's exploring the truth to the country you live in and the countries throughout the world. It's the aspect of always being in the know. To your advantage, our team has you covered. Here at NewsVision, we understand your right to know about the democracy you live in and our freedom of press. If you ever have a question, NewsVision has the answer.
Street harassment is a problem that is all too common for women and even men at times, especially in Washington, D.C. NewsVision reporter Amani Latortu joins us now.
Thank you, Danielle. That's right. 21% of transit riders in the area experience some form of harassment, according to a survey conducted earlier this year. Jessica Raven is the Executive Director for Collective Action for Safe Spaces, a grassroots organization that strives to educate and empower residents in the D.C. area about sexual harassment and assault. She tells us more about what they do.
Some of those projects are Safe Bars, which is a training for bar staff on how to respond to harassment and intervene and prevent it from escalating to assault. We conducted, in partnership with Stop Street Harassment and WMATA, conducted the first ever comprehensive study on sexual harassment on a city's public transit system in the U.S. And we've been working with WMATA for years to address sexual harassment on its system, and we're working to expand that work to also address racist harassment and Islamophobia.
To learn more about sexual harassment and how you can make a difference, visit www.collectiveactiondc.org. There, you can also see the complete list of safe bars in Washington, D.C., trained by Collective Action for Safe Spaces.
We all know the top 3 major television networks, NBC, ABC, and CBS. But what about the Black-owned media companies? Are they extinct? Our NewsVision producer, Danielle Solomon, has the story.
Washington, D.C. and the surrounding area is the birthplace of many Black-owned media companies. Over the years, some of the companies have made major changes, while others have continued to build on their brand and remain Black-owned. The Washington Informer is one of them. Staff writer Serafina Wright says the paper is still a staple in the D.C. area.
Any major thing, if they ask me what publication I'm from, I just say the Washington Informer. And in this town or city, D.C., the Informer is about 52 years old. So people know who the Informer is. It has a legacy and a history. It's not just like, a random paper. It definitely has a following.
TV One, launched in January of 2004 by Radio One owners Kathy Hughes and Alfred Liggins III, the network offers a variety of programming from movies to news.
Speaking in terms of actual Black executives or Black founder who is in a position to make sure that those stories are being told, because she is the head person in charge and can say what direction, as well as her son, what direction they decide to take.
For NewsVision, I'm Danielle Solomon.
Nielsen, a global information data and measurement company, released a new report on the power of Black consumerism. NewsVision reporter Maisha Miller is here now with more.
Yes, Danielle. According to the latest Nielsen report, African Americans are gaining power through technology and the dollar, and millennials are leading the way. The latest Nielsen 2016 report shows that the growing Black population has increased buying power, is tech-savvy, civically engaged, and using technology and social media to raise awareness on issues facing the Black community. Black millennials like Kamal Wassett lead the way.
We see that social media has played as a powerful dynamic that has never been before seen in this country. Before, we'd have to rely on more professional media sources to expose these things. We'd have to wait for interviews. We'd have to write the press release, and it was much more of an involved process. But now the people are their own reporters.
In 2015, buying power for African Americans rose to about $1.2 trillion. Black millennials made up $162 billion of that amount, and media and brands have taken notice. Nielsen brand strategist Wilbert Carpenter says this shows the economic power of Black consumers.
And without having that number, it's easy for companies to say, oh, hey, we don't really care about this population. But now knowing that this is a group that has like over $1 trillion worth of buying power, they're, much more focused on serving the needs of this group of people.
Despite adversity, Black millennials continue to improve in many other areas, in addition to closing the digital divide and using technology in their fight for equality.
The long walk at Howard is more than just a path students take across the main yard.
NewsVision reporter Mackenzie Marshall is here to tell us more about the history of the long walk and how it has impacted students.
Well, Danielle and Cachet, unlike today, if you were an underclassman, you were not allowed to take the path across the main campus from the Fine Arts Building to Founders Library. The long walk is so sacred. There is a whole documentary dedicated to the path and the journey of Howard University. I had the chance to talk to Howard University seniors about their long walk before they walked into it last May.
What does the term long walk mean to Howard students? I asked 4 seniors how they felt Howard has impacted them over the years.
Hey, so Howard has impacted me in a great deal. So basically it's just taught me really to work hard for what I want and just keep pushing no matter what. Don't take no for an answer.
Senior Sonia Williams says that Howard has given her the opportunity to build unique relationships with fellow students.
Howard has made me learn a lot about myself and what I want to do for the world. It's opened me up to a whole bunch of different connections with people that I never thought I would have ever had a conversation with before.
Senior Mario Ferguson came to Howard through a medical program where he was able to make lifelong friends at Howard University.
Hello, so through my matriculation at Howard, man, I feel like I've grown so much as an individual. Okay, I came in under the Health Careers Opportunities Program, which is basically a freshman pre-med program that really launched my Howard career.
Some students, like Samaya Hoyle, already has a job offer after graduation.
Post-graduation, I'll be working with Accenture, the consulting firm in Atlanta, Georgia. Howard has provided me with so much opportunity, so many great friends, and just a lifetime of memories.
Danielle and Cache, we will all be taking our long walk next May.
Indeed, it's been a long journey, but a very good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, 2017 is almost here.
And it's been quite a year, from the return of Yard Fest to the end of the Obama era.
We went on the campus of Howard University to ask people what they wish for in the new year. Take a listen.
I'm looking forward to just being successful.
So in 2017, I'm looking forward to graduating and getting a job.
What I'm looking forward to in 2017 is just having a successful school year. I'm a freshman, so now that I know what to expect, I'll be able to manage my time better and get a 4.0 GPA.
What I'm looking forward to in 2017 is clarity and understanding amongst racial groups in America.
What I'm looking forward to in 2017 is prosperity. As you know right now, Donald Trump is our next president-elect, and I have a lot of reservations, and so I'm just hoping for some peace, prosperity,
I'm looking forward to being in my second year of medical school and learning new things.
I have a Google internship this summer, so I'm looking forward to going to California or Canada to internship and use my knowledge for the betterment of the world.
We wish you hope and peace from all of us here at NewsVision, the capstone broadcast journalism class, and the Department of Media, Journalism, and Film. I'm Cache McClay.
And I am Danielle Ledbetter. May the good news be yours. And on behalf of all of us at NewsVision,
Happy Holidays!
Funding for this program is made possible by NBC Universal.
I decided to intern for NBC Universal because I'm a storyteller, and if there's one thing NBC does really well is tell stories.
Being an intern here, there's nothing like it.
If you're the studio intern standing in for Jimmy or any of the guests, and you get to rehearse the games or the segments that they're going to do, which is super cool.
It's cool to see that your work actually has some value to it, and you can see it in the real world.